But I mean, last game around took a long time.
Why do you involve yourself in the personal choices of people so much, Mikey? It bothers you so much.
Every time I go to an airport and I see someone with a neck pillow, I just think they're just not very smart. I'll be honest. I just think they're not.
It's not you wearing it. It's them. Just let them do it. Who cares?
No.
Why do you care so much? Why do you care so much? This is why you're unhappy. You care about stuff that really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Mike. It's not your life. Who gives a crap? Let them be. You know? Let them be, Mike. Just let them live in peace.
I refuse. Midlane.
And then you have no right of complaining about being unhappy at any point. Any point. I don't want to hear you complaining about life being so annoying and sad. Mike, you choose to be sad. All right? Let that be blatantly clear. As Quinn shouldn't be sad in this lane. He's up against a puck. No. Very good segue, if I do say so myself, Mikey.
It was a good segue.
Very happy time. You know, puck matchup, pretty boring. Puck can dodge in and out, although without the early shift, you are going to be copying extra damage there. Oh,
ATF! Going down already, Jonathan. Surprise, surprise. That's great. They're going to find the face to try.
Neck pillow
running themselves now, John. Neck pillow indeed. The 1-for-1 down that bottom lane, obviously very favorable though for the side of Abu.
Yeah, and we should focus on that bot lane. They are keeping Sibia down here, dodging out the Medusa lane, and again, neck pillow.
Well, Seneca's in trouble. Seneca's in trouble. Crit's gonna save the day, but this is a pretty rough start here for ATS. Pretty tough time.
That it is. It's immediately matchup into a Primal Beast. Sibia did go for Ferocity. He did go for the AoE on Pulverize, which can be quite nice. But the big thing is that there is a big threat with Cold Feet, plus just a rundown with Trample. Heck, that gets even worse once you get the Ice Vortex up. Just a ton of damage, a ton of magical damage amplified. You will need to start to play with a Surge as
Skid is going to have a nice kill for himself now. Desire going down on that Tusk. It's a hero you generally don't want to give too many kills to either. You know, this DK it can start to be a real pain in the backside later on. And so Skidder already off to a brilliant start himself.
I'm surprised again that they sent Smiling Knight top to deal with the Chen lane. Because again, Snaking just goes for the Satyr creep on his Convert Facet. He just throws out Mana Burn. You never feel comfy here on Smiling Knight, and Skidder has a very free lane. Like, there's no threat of a rundown from the Tusk. As long as Snaking has his little Saturn Mind Stealer for free, mind you. Burning mana away, what's the threat?
It's gonna die now, but yeah, it's certainly a very nice creep to have against a Medusa. And it was funny too, because I thought to myself, you know, this Medusa's gonna have 600 mana to start with. She's got 534 right now. So that creep's doing a lot of work when it is up. Smiling Knight, thankfully, at least is up against the DK core, so chances are you aren't going to get caught the Dragon Tail unless you're not really paying attention. Speaking of, lane, Desire does move in a little bit. Meanwhile, bottom lane, a lot of action happening here from ATF as he's just trying to really abuse Zibe now. That level 2 Iron Shell, but it doesn't really seem to matter too much as Zibe going to go for the Lotus Pool. This could be dangerous though. He won't get it. ATF going to chase him down. Zibe still running. Does have the Onslaught available if he needs to commit. ATF will wave him goodbye, and that'll be about it.
They've managed to stabilize that bot lane just a bit more. In terms of CS, it's still slower for more. But hitting level 3, level 2 Ion Shell up. Once you hit level 4, it can get the value point in the Blinding Light to get some pushback around. And the aggression can start to ramp up. So overall, looking pretty sharp for Falcons in the lane. You are starting to even out on Mobe mid, as the puck, again, once you've got that little phase shift up, is pretty manageable overall, but we will have to respect the storms of damage. That Quinn is leveraging quite well. We'll be able to still snag his water rune as well. No sort of focus on mid to deny that off from Quinn early on. So they just kind of relying on the puck to be self-sufficient if you are getting out. Not that you have room to leave these side lanes anyhow. Like, top is still a slower start for Smiling Knight. And again, this is an off-lane Dusa, but it is going to be scaling as your win condition, even if you do go for undulation. And they just kind of need to get that build-up on Smiling Knight as much as possible, but the impact from Desire isn't really being felt. Again, Snaking's just doing a fantastic job with his Satyr converts. Run down, burn mana. If you're not burning the Medusa, when you burn down the Tusk, you can't do anything. You can't ice shard, you can't run in to tag team, there's nothing. It becomes a solo lane for Medusa, which you're happy enough to farm in, but you're applying no pressure on Skitter. This DK, it's going to ramp up real quick if you're not too careful. And it is Corrosive Dragon, so once Dragon forms up, steady siege on objectives does come online.
It does. He's actually running right towards Smiling Knight here, but Smiling Knight going to be able to back himself up nicely. The Sati Mindstealer back to being a real nuisance here to poor old Smiling Knight, but again, he hasn't really been threatened quite yet with his life. He's perfectly happy. That mid lane going pretty evenly as well between Mobay and Quinn, by the way, Jonathan. We haven't really peeked at that in a little bit, but Quinn slightly ahead in terms of CS, but still a very even kind of laning stage. Both of them hitting that level 6 mark. The Quinn is slightly out of mana. We could see a kill coming out from the mid lane very soon as well, considering that there are power runes spawning in 10 seconds. And Ambulance have already brought supports over to ensure that those do get taken by their own mid. And it's going to spawn... Quinn gets it apparently. Never mind, John. Quinn still gets the haste rune. Meanwhile, bottom lane, ETF, he's going to be okay.
Yeah, we're a little bit slow in contesting the bot rune. Like, Mobay just had to orb in a little bit far away. Quinn just walked into it. So he's got a little bit of an option now. You don't quite have, you know, the silliness lined up yet. No recall just yet in crit. Level 6 isn't up yet. It's a little bit too soon for that. So, you, at least at the moment, you don't have to deal with that onslaught. Mind you, the lanes are still going well for Falcons. Again, outside of just Darkseer lane being a Darkseer lane, you're not really able to fully out Sibe. You are still finding that tempo, that time you'd want on Falcons. I would say it's a little bit concerning as the game goes on. If you're not punishing at this point on Abulus, if you're not able to get these connections with your supports, one has to be concerned about Stormcop. We were hyping this up in draft, but eventually, once crit hit 6, man, it gets scary. And then you really have to defend those 15-minute tormentors. The first one, if a free shard comes out for crit with the extra charge on recall, it's painful. Still,
he's gone a bit too far. He run directly towards Smiling Knight, trying to go for a stun, but he didn't realize Mobay had rotated on the puck, so he kind of just ran right into his death there. Pretty unfortunate death for Skitter.
And he's playing pretty damn aggressive. It does force the movement of Sibe back, at least. There's nothing else to find up top. So you just kind of waste some time, giving some free room out for Amar to build up. Falcons are, again, they're willing to play the slower game. They don't have to look for this aggression. Their timing isn't fully online. They need more to come out from crit. They've gotten room to just keep stacking down bot, in the triangle, in the side. Although it is being cleared out by Sibe with a smoke.
Comes crit. He's going to be okay to jaunt out of there, but just the amount of mana crits providing to Quinn every time he shows up in this mid lane is just so disgusting. Desire actually going very far forward onto Snake King. They do have Mobay there to back him up. Quinn does have plenty of mana to play with. He'll zip in, looking for Desire, but now he's been coiled up. Ice Blast, though, not going to land. Jump back in again. Mobay's a target. He'll still jaunt out of there. Here comes Skitter. They'll find Desire now. Desire has a snowball. He'll run back towards Snake King. Snake King doesn't want to die, and it looks like he's going to make it out. They do eventually get away with the Tusker, but my goodness, it'll take a long time.
It's a little bit awkward. The zips from Quinn weren't quite lining up the way you wanted to. And again, Sibe has done a great job using this free space, clearing out the side stacks there right by the Shrine of Wisdom. He has managed to sneak some farm for himself. Has the phase boots, going for the soul ring first. Nothing major just yet on Primal Beast. They are making use of the space well, right? Like, you've got free lane for Smiling Knight. He's just kind of building up top. Still trying to catch up in terms of the net worth disparity overall, but he is going for a Midas first. So he's not going for, again, the typical off-lane build of Atos, Gleipnir kind of build. He is going for a steady farm for right-click damage down the line. He will find that space eventually. He is soaking up some EXP from those stacks that Amar is clearing out. Level 6 is up. So Spirit Form recall plays can come out if they find an angle in. Mind you, there is some decent control here for Avilis to fight back with. Just the Gorgon's Grasp alone is a threat. Dream Coil as well will cut off Quinn in a major way. You will have to kind of measure that aggression just a tad bit more. But it is ready to go if you do decide to pop that open on crit.
Quinn's gonna feel very nice. Quinn's right by crit as well. Like they're both just waiting for the opportunity to get started. With that amp damage rune, you know they're gonna be looking for an angle to try and hunt somebody down with that damn recall. Everyone else though, still just chilling out. 2 to 3, 10.5 minutes in, so another slow start to the game. It should speed up relatively soon, but seems like mostly we're just waiting for Quinn and Crit to be ready to start roaming.
They are, and Crit is starting to check things around. I do appreciate the vision here from Avilis though. The ward is right outside the sentry. They're able to spot this rotation out from the Kotl and maybe even punish before a recall can come in. He's zoning him out. This ward is giving so much value. Spots the smoke fully.
It did see the smoke. And they prep for a fight though, Avilis. I mean, it's right by their tier 1 tower. Surely you expect the rotations to come in. Smiling like he gets caught out anyway. Where's the TPs? They're finally coming. Here, Spoiler's out, Crit is down. This is a great fight for Avilis. They should have Skitter as well. It will cost them Desire, but a very nice fight. Is Mobay even looking for a little bit more? Jumping on Snaking, needs to be somewhat cautious not to get taken down by Quinn. Quinn, excuse me. It's Quinn. It may be okay. Snaking will also be just fine. But that's a great fight. They get 2 for 1.
It looks a little bit awkward, but they have confidence in how tanky Smiling Knight actually is. It takes a lot of effort to just burn through the mana shield overall. And then they got max value out from that ward. Right out that point with the amp damage. Now they have to play Quinn in the region. He's been finding everything, and he's set to re-engage. No coil to worry about. Quinn?
Rather ATF's in a bit of trouble. Quinn still fighting. Mobay though is out of there. ATF also out. A lot of action from both sides of the map. They are going to finally be able to look at that replay of the last fight, and the TP reactions I thought were a little bit slower than necessary, but it doesn't matter. They got there in the end, and as you can see, Jonathan, a very nice fight. Eventually breaking out for Avilis, and of course now Smiling Knight can have the liberty of starting to take these stacks away. Quinn is around as well, being a bit of a nuisance, actually taking a lot of the gold and XP from these creeps, and that's going to be a little bit annoying for Smiling Knight, because he did all the hard work.
Again, he already got his, well, he didn't get his reward, but at least they also managed to get the steal on the side, so kind of trading away. He suffered in the end, but hey, Smiling Knight has his Midas. He's going to be able to keep that farm game going for himself. 2k lead coming out for Falcons in the slow game, though. This is one thing for Crit, as we saw in the highlight a while ago. Just want to mention, the recall did kind of kill Skitter. Dragged him right into the firing line, right in front, into the blast, into the snowball, and the Gorgon's Grasp. You do have to respect some of that hold. Amar is by himself again, feeling too comfy with his neck pillow, perhaps. I am, but don't jump him this time. So he gets to be relaxed a little bit more. My neck pillow.
If there's one thing ATF is not today, Jonathan, it's relaxed. I guarantee you that. Very stiff shoulders after today. Very stiff shoulders.
What if Amar showed up the next day with a pillow from the hotel room? And just had...
That's a much smarter idea, John. Much smarter. That's something you'd do. Coil is out. Quinn has been caught. Ice Blast though, not really going to land. He could survive this. Quinn, he has a second. He'll zip out of there. They cannot finish the job. Now Seneko left behind will go down as they're looking for more now. Quinn eventually just jumping into Desire, but kind of misses out on any kind of vortex. It won't really matter though. They're here for the tier 1 tower. That's exactly what they're going to get out of this.
Radiant's middle tower.
I'll tell you, John, I don't mean to be critical, because I know Ice Blast is pretty difficult to land, even with a coil setup. There's been a few times now where Ice Blast misses, and they miss out on a pretty big kill.
Yeah, that's twice in a row, actually, where Quinn's just been dodging out when it's been specifically only on the Storm. Not the easiest one to catch out, but it does feel like with Dream Coil you should be able to find that. The reaction's just maybe not as quick as you'd want it to be out from Seneko. And again, this Storm is the key thing you need to pin down, because as the game goes on, as the shard starts coming in for crit, if they manage to secure the Tormentor, which they will, and if they get lucky with a draw, you know, crit will receive for himself.
Here we go.
Have fun. Have fun with the 2 recall charges.
Do they get lucky?
May the light.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
Gross. Oh. Nasty.
It's nasty, dude. That's not nice.
There's no way the shard is... There's no way the shard isn't gonna get nerfed. No way.
I think it's pretty clear it will at some point. Smiling Knight, here we go. Here comes the shenanigans. Crit will bring somebody over. I'm imagining that's Quinn. Here we are. Smiling Knight, middle of nowhere right now. He's got some help coming. Just don't get fooled by him time, but they'll drop the wall. Smiling Knight. Dark will actually block up the staircase, so ATF, he can't really help out with all this. Ice Blast is going to land this time around on Quinn. Did it? Yes, it did. He's trying to survive. Meanwhile, Zippe will die. He'll get at least a Primal, and Quinn does survive with his life intact.
He does. Had some decent wand charges right after. He did manage to dodge out major damage. Really quick Dragon Tail out to cancel that Pulverize. Just unfortunate for Zippe. If they managed to connect maybe an additional Pulverize strike, that might have actually been enough. Very borderline survival for Quinn. They don't manage to connect in the big way they'd want to again on Avilis. They're trying to use Smiling Knight as bait. They are biting the bait on the side of Falcons, but the punch back from Avilis just isn't there. Medusa itself isn't really doing damage yet. Just the Yasha has to finish up into the Manta, and then really damage doesn't flow until you get like Butterfly on that hero, which you're a long ways off from. One thing for Avilis is, again, they have themselves some really interesting, hard-to-find wards. This ward by the top jungle river is big. Ward in between tier 1, tier 2 mid is big. They can play off the back of those. Just they've been missing a few too many opportunities. Again, 7k lead for Falcons. 2 recall charges. What do you think about this?
Well, Crit was in trouble. Quinn's here now, and suddenly he's not so much in trouble anymore, John. Good today. Looking for a way out. Nice shard block here from Desire, but the Vortex still going to drag Zippe back as they do coil up. Quinn trying to burst down the storm, but the damage output is just not there. The Glimmer Cape out from Crit, blocking pretty much all the damage. Now, Mabey, he's going to try and get out of there, but the coil, rather the stun will land from Skidder. Quinn will secure a double kill on the Storm Spirit. And, I'll tell you, I mean, it's just... It's almost like it's a script, John. Like, Crit gets lucky with the shards off the Tormentor, and off to the races we go.
Seneko
is probably just dead, John. Not much he can really do. He's Seneko. No. And this is when Quinn's game gets a bit stupid too.
Yeah. Look at that. He's getting chakra up. 20 seconds away from recall being back up. More rune control. And Sakai's Sanj for a little bit more output and some slight durability for Quinn. That's just enough. I do appreciate how active Skitter's being as well. Just with Blink and Mage Player gun, he is very hard to kill off. Like, you are mainly magical burst at the moment. Your physical damage on Dusa isn't quite there yet.
Trouble. And is dead. No helping Zippe. I think against Falcons, at least during ISO 1 rally, like, you're either banning Storm or you're banning Coddle. Preferably Coddle, I think, is probably the smarter way to do it. It's just, it's too much. It's too much.
It is, because even without the Storm's the best example for how busted it is. But again, there's some natural combinations. Bristleback's one, Ember's one, Angelua's another one. Coddle you do not want to have these Coddle combos. It's just always set to go.
What is it that Quinn's just running across the map? No fear. Here you go, Quinn. Here you go. Enjoy. I'll see you in 35 seconds, Quinn. That's basically, that's all the communication. I mean, Snaking was talking about how good the communication is with Quinn. That's all they're talking about. The 25 seconds, Quinn. Trust me, I'm coming.
It's rinse and repeat. It feels like, almost feels like the story of this is often are having fun, chilling out. Amar's finding a way to get this neck pillow working. Hence him just focusing, literally just camping bot the entire game. He's just so locked into one routine. Play bot map. That's it. He's not even... He's just locked into this area, you know? He doesn't even need to join in. What do you mean?
He wasn't always like this, John.
Oh. Neck pillow change skill. It's like the mask, you know? Like the Green Goblin mask speaks to you, Mike. It makes you do things.
Get away. Link up to the north. Quinn's still having a gander. Oh, and he's gonna find him. You can't trick a trickster. Quinn's gonna find him. No problem. 6th kill of the game for Quinn. Not dead yet. Crit, where are we going, sir? Surely there's more time for another. No, apparently not. He's out of time. He's just brought his whole team with him, though.
Yeah.
It's okay.
No, Skitter TP'd the farm, got recalled back. Like, yeah, Skitter literally TP'd mid, just wanting the farm. It's like, no, come back. We must fight. Non-stop fighting. Alright, Amar gets the farm. I guess it's because Amar left bot. He wants mid for himself. I'm leaving the lane. 4-13, yet again, a little bit of a slower game as we've seen from game 2 a while ago from the previous series. But 14k lead at 21 minutes. Here you go. They could kill crit. No, apparently not.
They can't, John. Fabulous. I mean, not out of the game by any stretch of the imagination, but life is getting rather challenging. You do still have a Medusa and a Puck that you can play high ground with, of course, and chances are that Fabulous will find a way to stall out the game and give themselves another chance at life here as Desire was jumped. Quinn will leave him alone. Instead, they want Mobay, and I think they might just have him because Quinn never runs out of mana while Crit's here. And Mobay, he's still just trying to push out the creep waves. Can he get out? Oh, nice little jaunt. In fact, no jaunt, but it won't matter. Just doesn't matter.
No.
Where are we going? Are they going up to Smiling? Where were they TP? Mid lane. HTF needed help, John. Here's Quinn. An anchor. Could you imagine if Dota Pro Tracker was working and every player could see what other pros were doing, John? We'd be seeing this every game. There's no way this wouldn't be every single game.
Yeah. Again, it's the benefit of those replays being hidden. It's some sneaky stuff like this. You got the Deuce up popping up. But in this case, of course, it's not been feeling too flash hot for Smiling Light. And again, he's not going for that Atos Blitnir sort of build. But he is just going for traditional carry, just playing from the off lane. 4-16. Your opportunities now in Fabulous. Your big teamfight potential is still there. You're just not able to really connect as a team as after failed group ups. Next best bet is now just scaling with Smiling Knight into like an ultra late game scenario. Stall this game out maybe 13 minutes. They find Amar.
Find Amar. Amar's actually pretty tanky here, Jonathan. Here comes Crit. Here comes Quinn. Here comes everybody. Well, the looks of it is, well, they'll lose another in the form of Zibe. And with Smiling Knight, they're just completely ignoring him on the Medusa. They're going to go after Saneko first. Smiling Knight, they'll force out buybacks to the least, but I think that's about it. They don't have a coil to lock everyone down. Like, there's no way. Snowball out. Maybe they find Snaking. Yards? Okay. They've got a check, John. That costs you 2 buybacks, though.
Yeah. It's not a great feeling, but considering how much net worth they did get from killing off those 2 heroes, plus how much Snaking is worth himself, honestly not the worst thing in the world for Fabulous. 7-19, very important kills to find. Even though, again, they're not the biggest kills in the world, you are far back behind enough that it does matter. Although Quinn's still keen to go.
against Quinn, but Quinn's still not dead. Okay, there you go. There you go. At least give him an Aegis, Quinn. My goodness.
Get the usage out of the way, but the right idea was there from Atlas, right? This time around, Crit dies a little bit earlier on. They focus their damage onto that hero as Crit aggressively recalls in to get into that action. And I think that's the best you can hope for an Atlas. If you can pin down this super polite, kill it off early enough, it becomes, you know, it's not as free of a time for Quinn to zip around. He's going to need to be limited by his mana. He does have a lot of mana in mind. 26 galvanized stacks, a free 7.8 mana regen. It's nothing to scoff at.
28.3 mana regen, and he's got a coddle just filling him up anyway. Like, who cares? Who cares? Why not just remove the Swarm and Mana Bar? Well, you know, why not just make it so he's like using energy or something, you know, at this point. Mobay alive on 50 HP. Be a little bit careful there, sir. The Snaking's on the hunt, apparently, as the Chen. But Mobay should be alright. I don't believe he'll get caught.
Just gonna be farming what you can. And there's some recovery time for Abulus to keep his build up on Smiling Light. He is trying to go for his Ags and Scotty. And eventually, and again, if this game lasts long enough, you can try to hope for maybe a Divine Rapier in Smiling Knight. It feels like one of those circumstances where you kind of have to start thinking about like real long-term high ground holds here. Free Shard comes out for Skitter, so the Fireball's up. And not the most amazing, but still somewhat useful in shoving out lanes. They are trying to hunt with a recall here on the side of Falcons, but not presenting themselves here. Maybe Sibe on the side.
It looks like Zibe might just get caught. He's just waiting in that tree line. Does blink away, thankfully. Quinn will not scout him out. Looks like they're going to actually start hoping that somebody tries to defend that top tier 3. He's dragging him Scepter on Smiling Knight now, so yeah, I think the high ground defense of Avulus is where they're really going to prove to be a bit of a nuisance with this style of draft. You see Falcons, they are paying them respect. 27 minutes in, even with the 19k net worth lead, they aren't quite willing to try and even try. Mobay is just going to casually die to Quinn, and now Amar's gone in that Radiant Triangle. In fact, even Crit's gone. You get the puck, but ATF and Crit go down. That's a pretty big win for Avulus.
And it is. I'm surprised they never got that D-ward and taking control of the triangle here from Falcons, showing no respect for vision play out. And the punishment is pretty severe. It's a lot of gold to flow back towards Avulus despite losing Mobay earlier on. They are getting some gains here. Again, with that shard up, damage coming in from Smiling Light in a prolonged fight is pretty massive, especially as the Scotty comes in. So all the hits having these effects is going to be doing a lot of work. And again, you went for undulation, so you're not going to be slowed up. You're not going to care too much about anything outside of the stuns here. The Deuce is going to be a pretty strong walking turret as the game goes on. For the side of Falcon, so I mean, yeah, it's a little bit nasty. You bleed out kills like that, but it's 9 to 23. You're still 19k ahead. They've done a great job in Smiling Knight. At least he's still #1 net worth. He's using this space well. He's keeping up and eclipsing a lot of the heroes, but again, it's a long road to being a complete menace on the Deuce just yet. You are tanky. You're doing some damage, but to really be a threat, it's a ways off. It's Scotty Daedalus with the build up on Smiling Knight, as they do manage to dodge out top at least.
I'm just watching Crit. It's just so stupid. It's just... It's not fair, is it, Joe?
It's not. It's really not. But what can you do? I mean, we were talking about the coddle and the wreck.
Put the coddle shards in. They don't think about this. That this is a possibility.
I want to say they did think about it and figured it would be too fun. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that it's fun, it's silly, that you can recall in instead of just having people come in, as is tradition. Right? You can jump into the fray. You get chakra up. Like, it's a fun concept. It's just too strong. Like, this is one of those things that I'm not annoyed by. It's too hilarious. You know, it's hilarious, but it's not happening.
No, it's certainly not. They do at least juke out actually everything. Dragon Tail does not end up connecting. Quinn could not get a Vortex, though he does find himself an Arcane Rune at least. And funnily enough, Dota Plus is actually still sitting at 41% for Avulus. So that's a 19k advantage that they're up against as well, John. It's just like kind of crazy that they still have this high of a chance of winning the game. Like, Quinn's got a Scythe Device up, Crit's got a full Ags up. You'd think there's no chance left, but the Dota Plus, it simply disagrees. Mabay,
I would say I think that's down to the fact that you're playing against Dusa Puck. Right? Puck, as the game goes on as well, you get an Ags up, you get your 25 up. You can turn these games on its head. Like, there is scaling here on the side of Avulus. It is not to be disrespected. So if this game just kind of drags on, even with the disparity, again, Smiling Knight's #1 in net worth. All the gold's going to the right hero. You might want some of that to flow into Mobay as well, but the Puck can clear out these waves in the side, be a nuisance, drag some attention to itself without really being in the firing line, especially as the Linken's is up. I mean, you are reliant on single target spells right now. Dragon Tail and Vortex lock in that Puck. You have a lot of windows here for Mobay to actually dance around. He's going for the right optimization to keep that stall game going. A little bit of a smoke out from the side of Avulus now. They do have a lot of wards. Like, I appreciate all of this vision into the top jungle. Right? Like, they're keeping track of where the smokes might start to get popped, where they might start to group up some Falcons. Gives them an angle to try to play forward with the smoke as well. Although the scans aren't really hitting anything. Aren't really finding anything, but they kind of set the information up for this move. It's just, they probably should have had bot instead. The side of Falcons are just enjoying the free push. And they're just forced to back off from that smoke entirely with Smiling Knight to defend. So, right ideas. Again, just need to stall the game. Maybe you can start to cut some waves on Mobay now. Prevent any sort of siege elsewhere. Blame shove in your favor. Just avoid fights. You don't need to play into the Coddle Storm. You can just not die and just go farm.
That's what they're doing, John. Everyone's just farming for now. Smiling Knight, Divine Rapier queued up. Daedalus first, though, of course. This could arguably be one of the longest games you and I have casted here for the group stages thus far. Like, if things keep up the way they are. Desire, gonna get hexed up here. Quinn will have Crit coming in as well. Because God forbid Quinn gets too low on mana.
Yeah. Gotta keep him topped up, Mikey.
Got him. Double chase on. Dust is going to connect on Senekos. That's 2 down now. Both supports going. There is buybacks on both. It might need it. You never know.
Probably not too pertinent to buy back at this point, at least. You do have some important things to save up for. I go for the Scythe of Vice on Desire. With some control. Considering there's nothing defensive here on Quinn, make a massive difference in these engagements. So, yeah, it's short response anyhow, considering how far behind you are in terms of EXP. And there's not much of a window for Falcons. Falcons might just wait for the next Roche before they start to get too comfy here. Maintaining their 23k advantage. Might be able to get a jump onto someone. Siva is just hanging out and waiting for... We're trying to look for an angle and trying to play with this ward, just in case someone crosses the river. Although, okay.
They're going to find themselves Zibe. He actually doesn't have any help either. It's a bit of a shame. Your Flame Primal Beast just getting deleted. No problem. And, I mean, Falcons, they're not trying for high ground yet, but they've got complete map control. Like, the net worth just continues to grow. The only person really getting farmed up on Avulus is just Smiling Knight, so all the eggs are back into the Medusa basket. And as for that Medusa basket, it's still looking rather fragile right now. Not the strongest yet. Get up.
Not quite.
The problem, you can't jump anymore with this Coddle Storm. Like, look at this. So there goes Seneko. Quinn's in like zero danger right now. He just needs some mana. Here comes Crit to help him out with that as they do kill off Desire. Anyone else? Why not? Quinn's jumping in again. He's on the Smiling Knight now. Buyback committed by Seneko, and that'll be enough. You can't jump anyone.
No.
Because they just bring two heroes in instantly. Oh, the Lotus Orbit cancels the Pulverize of Zippe. That's unfortunate. Quinn still going. We'll move back onto the Primal Beast. The Glimmer Cape, it will save him for a little bit, but for how much longer? Zippe is just burning alive right now. Smiling Knight, he's going to stand his ground, but he's not doing enough damage. He's doing no damage, in fact. Quinn will back out, though. ATF down. He'll retreat to boot. Kind of the issue, like this Dusa, like it's tanky, but it doesn't hit hard enough because now Seneko's died back.
Yeah. I mean, again, we were talking about the timing there, Mike. Chrysalis is nice. Daedalus is necessary, and Divine is a must. It has to stall them to that point, and we're just not getting to that point. No AA, no Ice Blast Threat means you've got a minute to siege. It doesn't take too long for Falcons to get that done with a DK on hand with Couriers of Dragon, even sniping out the Courier of Smiling Knight. Beautiful Daedalus rescue. Things get both from bad to worse. He's very close to the goal. He does have the goal for the Demon Edge, so he's missing a key part of DPS. I don't know what you do to stop this.
I don't know either, John. I don't see it either. Obey. Get caught. Back is there. They're all dragged in. However, one is going down, and it was Quinn, but he does zip out just barely. Look at they're trying after. Snaking at the least, and Snaking eventually should die and will. It took a while, but we'll get one. In the Chen, and they are going to be able to force Falcons back.
They do. 551 plus 846 gold for a plus 5 Chen. Really tells you the state of game. Heck, I didn't even notice Sibbe is behind Crit and Snaking's farm. As the offlane Crown Beast. It's, yeah, that's just the way the game goes when you're 50k behind. You know? Not good. Not good. To have a Chen have more farm than a Primal Beast is, it's a sad state. But, Avulus, again, if you can't end the game on Falcons, if you get this long enough, we'll eventually end up with Divine Rapier Medusa with the Daedalus. So, it's all in. It's all you have to do now. Just go all in, hope for the best, hope for the best in the draw of the cards. Maybe the river helps you out, you know? Last set of cards coming in, the last set of pieces for your suits to get set up, or whatever. I don't know my comparisons here anymore, Mike. All I know is Balatro, actually. I don't know what I'm saying.
Balatro? Oh, goodness.
Fun game. Great game.
It is a fun game. I haven't played it in a while, John, I'll be honest. I haven't got too good at it, you know. Too good at it. Alright. Here we go. My babe. I'm not feeling too good here, John. Quinn. Here comes Crit. Waiting for the Dream Coil. Don't worry, John, he's got mana. I promise you that. Quinn still going. He's out of mana now. But it is regening pretty quickly. Mobe, surely he gets out. Oh, he had a Lincoln's. He had a Lincoln's. It's okay. Oh, Quinn actually vortexed him. My God. His scythe device was on cooldown, so he couldn't get the secondary disable out.
No.
They get Quinn.
Get Roshan.
They can. Yeah, they can get Roshan, John.
He's too slippery. He's working on his own Lincolns, patching them out. At that point, he's down to the foil. Roche is set to go. An Ice Blast at least annoyed him along the way. It's not being used until wider team fight. Secondary life now here for Skitter, along with a nice Roche banner to help siege onto the rest of the racks. Smoke out. Or close to your parasma here for Mobe, but it's not the point just yet. It's not the point where the puck's really going to try to win these fights without the foil, the massive foil. Right, like the kind of the axe. I don't want the levels to be up. Still ways for the 25 for the wider rift, or for the debuffing T-Pierce. There's that Lincolns we were expecting for Quinn. Again, some protection from the pulverize, some protection from the snowball punch. The Ageless does get assembled with the courier respawning here for Smiling Knight. The damage is flowing. Just need the Divine Rapier next. And if that Divine Rapier comes out, Mike, you know, get ready to lock in for 20 minutes. You know, maybe that's why Amar has the neck pillow. So when the game reaches 60.
That's a good point. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe he just wants to be able to stay up. I'll take another Tormentor. This time Queen gets the shards up. So now you've got that the Overlord shards available. Exit. It's a reach-in rune. Of course he does.
Why, does he need it? No.
Well, he doesn't need it, John, but he's got it, hasn't he? He's looking. It is going to expire anyway. It doesn't matter. But they're looking at Mobay now. Hoping somebody farms that mid-wave, but it's just not happening. Of course, Abulus being pretty good at just avoiding. The Quinn's are zipping right in, apparently, onto Seneko, and he just takes the kill. BKB up, wants to go for more, but does have to back up. Zibe even popped his own BKB so he could pulverize, but he couldn't quite get it off in time. And now without the BKB, he gets caught by Skidder. ATF's in with the wall and the back. Oh, Zibe, he's able to slowly run his way out. It's alright, he's not dead. They can't protect the racks. Maybe now with the Divine Rapier they can. Smiling Knight, he should have some damage now. Not really that much against Skidder yet, but surely soon. Here we go. Punches out though. Smiling Knight going to be careful of his own illusions, John. They hit hard. They hit pretty damn hard. Tier 3 tower, still on his teeth. Skidder, he's got all the shields in the world. He doesn't really feel the need to back off. But will eventually.
And they've taken top racks off the back of all of those shenanigans. 1 racks left. Do hit the divine timing for Smiling Knight. You are right. The damage, it doesn't feel like it's there. It just kind of tickles. You're tanky though on this piece. You've got 2.19 mana. Your EHP is through the roof at the very least, but you catch Skidder.
You do catch Skidder. But he's a pretty tanky boy, John. I mean, you couldn't deal any damage to him with the Divine Rapier. I actually don't know if they can kill him right now. He had the Aegis anyway, so you would have had to do it twice. Keep in mind, he just got that level 25 talent as well with the plus 12 armor and regen, so he's pretty damn tanky right now on this DK. Almost 50 armor. Now smoking it. Skidder again, happy to oblige and just say come at me, and they're just not coming. In fact, Quinn would have been instead. He's got a Hex out. He found the Medusa first. A big back wall. ATF. He got 3 targets with that. Zibe is melting to the damage output, but he will BKB walk out of there. Instead they'll take that Desire. In comes Skidder now in the back, finding Seneko. Both supports down. Maybe they can at least take down ATF, but no, he walks out of there. In comes Quinn again. Smiling Knight out of mana. It's not looking good for the Medusa. He's gone. Divine on the deck. Game 1's over, John. I mean, unless they can kill Quinn, it's over. GG's called.
Yeah, look. They go for the comfort on Abulus, right? Like they pick up the Smiling Knight Medusa, they play it in the offlane, they give Sibe his Primal Beast. They go for very strong comfort that has worked for Abulus in the past. Just